Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster. Alright, so we had a bit of a rough battle. One person got knocked unconscious. Kangara has added Shattered Jaw to the list of her many injuries. I know some of my characters had Sour Death, which I believe allows me to, encourage myself to get back up when you're knocked down and get, I think, a strength token out of it, which is actually pretty useful with Red Fist, but honestly, we didn't really need it for this fight. We did lose a Skull Helmet. We lost all of our Acanthus herbs, and yeah, it's been a bit rough. And Yomu, what happened with Yomu? Didn't she take an injury? Oh, she got killed, but the life elixir absorbed that, so that much is fine. Okay, just trying to get everything all situated here. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over our characters that returned. I think it's the same group. Yeah, so we get 6 endeavors, so that goes there. I'm supposed to heal injuries, but I usually just do it after the fact. Let's go ahead and do our settlement event. So roll 1d21. 3. Okay. Oh, great. Cracks in the ground. So this is the one that can screw us. A low rumbling fills the settlement. Small cracks in the earth widen into fissures that belch up foul-smelling vapor. A massive crack splits the ground in two. Okay, yeah, so we need a roll for this. This also disables home endeavors as well as nightmare. But it gives bonuses to nightmare training endeavors. Also, we can do none of these here, so no worries there. Anyway, let's go ahead and roll 1d10 and pray. Oh, thank God. So, 2 to 5 is pretty annoying because at least one person's going to die no matter what. But the big issue is rolling the natural 1 here. Anyone that has heavy gear are dead, and you lose all heavy gear on their gear grids. So if that had happened, it would have killed 2 people. We would have lost all of our Gourmet gear, and we would have lost the Black Sword. So that's the thing I'm worried about most, is losing Black Swords because of cracks in the ground. I mean, it's literally like, it's like less than a 5% chance to get this event, and then it's only a 10% chance to even get a natural 1. So it's you're looking at like less than a 0.5% chance, but if it happens, it can be devastating. Anyway, we rolled an 8, which actually gets us a Founding Stone gear, so that's good. I'm gonna go now. Right now, I think we can't do any home endeavors, which the only endeavor I care about right now is drums, which is not a home endeavor, so that's fine. Okay, so that's taken care of. Let's grab a Founding Stone real quick. Which will allow us to get a free crit whenever we want. Assuming we don't hit a location that has no crit, which I think my track record is about 40% of the time I hit a location that can't be critted with a Founding Stone. So, yeah. Alright, next we need to up the timeline. We are now year 14. So, for the timeline, year 14 is Armored Strangers and Gorm Climate again. So, let's go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and roll for the, oh my God, thank God. So far, that was for the Armored Strangers, by the way. I just wanted to roll it before I pull it up again. So our track record with Armored Strangers hadn't been too good. We rolled the worst result both times. We do get the guidepost again, so we can go ahead and add that to our thing. We do get Armored Strangers 4 years from now, which I've already added to the timeline. But we did roll a natural 10, which is the best result. Departing survivors get +1 survival, which is not a big deal, but the Armored Strangers haul in a massive, bountiful beast corpse. The survivors wonder at this boon, gain 6 random basic resources. Alright. I did get a skull on a Broken Lantern already. I'm going to count that as, well, skulls, there's only 1 value for that, but for Broken Lantern, I count that as a natural 1 for now. So if I roll those, I will re-roll them, because they're technically not in the deck. Anyway, for those who are wondering why I reroll certain values, it's because I'm treating these as a deck of cards. So if I have that value already drawn, I can't draw it again until it gets refreshed, which it doesn't get refreshed until the end of the settlement phase. Anyway, it's going to be 6d21. We need to reroll the 1 and the 19, it looks like. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay. So those are our values. I'll put this away. We do get the guidepost. Let's grab that too. Which does increase our departing survival back to 4. There we go. Alright, so we need to grab a bunch of resources here, so... Seven is a monster bone. Let's see, 10, 11, and 15 are all monster hides. Oh, someone mentioned that, they actually mentioned this a few videos ago, at least on my timeline, that you can actually hold right click and use that to kind of drag things around. The reason I don't do that is you might notice that sometimes, like when I right click, it'll open this, but if I right click certain locations like the edge of the board or something like a menu, it brings this open. And usually if I'm holding right click and dragging around, my mouse will always end up on back, which will pretty much make me go back a page on my browser, which is super annoying because then I have to come back to here and let it load, and it takes a while to load because there's actually a lot of assets in this little module I've made. So that's why I don't use the mouse control drag, because every time I've done it, I've accidentally opened like an actual Chrome browser menu and messed things up. So that's why I don't do it. Anyway, so 10, 11, 15 were all monster hides, and then that leaves us with 16 and 18. 16 and 18 are both monster organs. So this is good. We actually have enough resources to innovate this year, which is really good. We don't have enough to try for another Gormite, unfortunately, but that's okay. So that's taken care of. Next is the Gorm climate. So I'm going to go ahead and just roll 1d10 for that. 8. Okay, we didn't get screwed over this time. So let's pull up settlement events real quick, just to show it off. I just want to. So 8 is if we have storytelling, which we do. Neither result for this value can be used because none of our characters have 0 hunt XP. So there you go. That's taken care of. We need to add in Gorm climate next year. So unless we get super lucky with our innovation, we're not going to get rid of Gorm climate anytime soon. Also note that year 16 we have a Manhunter and a Nemesis encounter, and this Nemesis encounter will be level 2, but it will be our choice. And also the Manhunter will be level 3, which means we get to experience his wonderful, wonderful, unique trap guards. Alright, so that's all taken care of. I don't think anything else is... Yeah, I think we're good to go. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and spend an Endeavor. And I'm going to go ahead and spend a Monster Organ, Monster Hide, and a Monster Bone to go ahead and innovate. So we currently have 8, 13. So 4d13. 1 is Bloodletting, 8 is Partnership, 10 is Pottery, 12 is Forbidden Dance. Alright. Forbidden Dance is mostly useless. You can potentially get yourself permanent evasion, but it's super expensive. Forbidden Dance will unlock innovations. It will unlock Heart Flute, which is not really that useful. You can use it to add Nemesis encounters to your timeline, but not really, or do an instance. It's essentially something that calls for Nemesis encounter. There's really not much of a purpose for it unless you really want to farm Nemesis encounters for whatever the reason. But honestly, I wouldn't do that. Also, there's a 10% chance that you'll just die from using it. And the other card is actually for the Flower Knight expansion, so that's why I'm not talking about it. All right. So yeah. So Forbidden Dance is not really one. The actual use for Forbidden Dance is if you fight against a Kingsman, you can potentially get yourself a small chance of getting some benefits when dealing with the King's Step story event, but we don't really need to worry about that. Anyway, so that's all of that. Oh wait, I still need to pick. I actually need to pick one. So our choices were Bloodletting, Partnership, Pottery, and Forbidden Dance. I am definitely very interested in Pottery. I don't really care about Pottery itself, but I would like to get the Barber Surgeon so we can start messing around with that eventually. So you know what? Let's go ahead and grab Pottery. This will increase our survival limit to 11, which is pretty impressive. There is a chance that we can lose this if we lose against the Kingsmen, but I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so that's taken care of. Unfortunately, we don't have enough organs to do a Gorm Chemist event, or whatever it's called. So can't do anything with that. I could make the Gourmet helmets, but I kind of want to hold on to the Handed Skull so I can make it out the Black Sword. So yeah, I don't exactly want to mess around with those. Speaking of Black Swords, let's put this away for now because we don't really need it. Put away the Steel Sword as well. Kungar didn't die. No, she didn't die. She absorbed. If she did, the life elixir would have triggered it, absorbed it. So I didn't lose the Steel Sword. Just making sure of that. All right, so we'll grab the Bone Sickle again. Kind of getting this set up already ahead of time. And that's the reason why I don't carry the Black Sword all the time, is that small, tiny chance that you could lose it from cracks in the ground. We also technically don't really need it for the encounters we've been doing. Anyway, we don't have enough organs to get the Barber Surgeon yet, so can't do anything with that. We have 5 endeavors, and really the only endeavors I care to do right now is drums, so I'm going to go ahead and start doing drums again, and hoping we get something decent. There were a few endeavors for the cracks in the ground, but we can't do either of them because we don't have the requirements. So I'm going to do 1d10 on drums. 8, that's +1 survival. Mara, here you go, have your +1 survival. Next is another drums. 1, that's a +1 insanity. I will give that to Yumiko. 7, that is +1 survival. Here you go, Mara. 5, that is +1 survival. Here you go, Mara. And the last one, +1 survival. So yeah, we still haven't get that. There's a 20% chance that we can remove a disorder, and so far we've failed miserably. We've attempted this like, what, 9 times now? So yeah, that was all of our endeavors. We're good to go. Let's go ahead and get ready for another Gorm hunt. For the potential of getting some more skulls and things like that. Momiji is missing the next hunt, so not much we can do about that. We can go ahead and take, who do we want to take? We could take Yorihime, but she'll just steal stuff. Tenchi actually recovered, so she can actually go. Don't really want to send Mara, so yeah, we could probably send Tenchi. She's gonna get sun drunk, which is fine. What does Stark Raving do? I honestly don't remember. Oh, you're always insane. Okay, that's what it is. Speaking of insanity, no matter what, if whoever we send, we're all going to be insane. So if feet come up, well, actually, if I send Mara, I don't have to worry about insanity. But whatever. We'll take Tenchi. That's fine. You can recover. So yeah, we'll take Momiji down. What's really annoying about this little rock here is there's nothing we can do to remove it. There's no way we can remove it at all. There's no, because it's just a special trait that can't be removed. So that's kind of what we have to deal with. All right. Grab Tenchi, grab everyone else. Yes, yes, we're going to hunt another Gorm. Yes, it's all Gorms all the time in this particular playthrough. Next playthrough will probably not have the Gorm in it, just so we can spice things up a little. Anyway, what do we want to mess around with? I think that's really everything. Yeah, we'll take this group. That's completely fine. Tenchi can go there, Yomu goes there, blah, blah, blah. Usual stuff. Alright. I could carry around a Founding Stone. I really don't need to. Founding Stone actually works rather well with the Wisdom Potions, since you can see what the top card is all the time. Anyway, we are taking the Lantern and all that good stuff. We do have a Scythe, or a Sickle, whatever you should call it, to go ahead and do the Herb Gathering. So that's there. We could try to potentially make ourselves a pickaxe and do stuff with that, but for one, I've already used all of our endeavors, and two, I don't really want any pickaxes, so we don't really need iron. Anyway, we'll put you last. Put you there. Put you there, put you there. Now, one thing I do need to do is actually open up some rule books, so give me one moment. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so everything's all situated. Let's get started. Our departing survival is 4. And Tenshi's going to get +2 survival, insanity and +6 survival. So there's all that. Oh, I can give Yomu that life elixir. Okay. Anyway, so +2 insanity, and she's going to max out on survival to 11. Get all these. She's going to have 5 armor in all locations. Like so. Yomu. Really just going to only have a little bit of armor, that's fine. And she's just going to get 4 survival. Not that it matters, because Swordsman Promise is going to max her out anyway. Kangara is just going to get 4 survival. She's not going to get the Swordsman Promise benefit, unfortunately, because I didn't equip her with a sword. You know what? I can fix that problem right now. Here, have a bone blade, so you'll at least max out. Anyway, up to 7 survival for you. Tenshi's good. Yomu's already taken care of, and Yumiko is going to max out one way or the other. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right now. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. So, Kangara goes first. This monster is the Corso Gorm, which has 7 cards. 2. Head-splitting pain. An approaching flash of light causes terrible convulsions. Move the Gorm 1 space closer to the survivors on the hunt board. If it moves on to the survivors, they are ambushed. Otherwise, each survivor rolls on the table. Add their number of disorders to their result. So I'm going to have to do this individually. So I'm going to start with Kangara. Kangara has 2 disorders. 1d10 plus 2. 10. Regain, shielding your eyes, you struggle to regain control. Reduce your insanity to 0. Okay, Kangara has lost all of her insanity. So now she's sane. Next is Yomu. Yomu has no disorders, so she's probably going to get 1. 10. Okay, she loses all of her insanity as well, so she's sane now. Next will be Tenchi. Tenchi has 2 disorder, so 1d10 plus 2. Okay, she loses all of her insanity. That's actually... This trend is kind of scaring me, to be honest. So we have a bunch of sane characters. Well, Tenchi is still insane because of Stark Raving, because that clearly states that she's insane no matter what. And then last will be Yumiko. Yumiko has 3 disorders, so this is going to be 1d10 plus 3. 9. Shielding your... Okay, she gets reduced to 0 insanity, which kind of sucks. So she's now completely sane. Everyone's sane, except for Tenchi because of Stark Raving. Alright, so that happened. Okay, and that's it for that card, I'm pretty sure. Yes. We could have potentially gotten the Lure Epilepsy fighting art. But that's about it, unfortunately. Okay. But yeah, this is a pretty nasty event because it pretty much almost guarantees that you get a disorder unless you roll stupidly high like I did. So, there you go. Alright, next will be Yomu. Now, I have to, I don't really get much of a choice here, so I'm going to go ahead and use the lantern. And everyone will go ahead and rest except for Yumiko, who's going to tune. So she's going to get 5 insanity because you get 3 base and then plus 1 for every blue affinity. So there you go. Anything else that I need to do? No. Okay. So yeah, Yumiko will be back up to 5 insanity to make her insane again. This is mainly so I can avoid the issues with prey. And everyone else will get 2 survival plus plus the amount of green affinities they have, which are not insanity, but 2 survival. So there you go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and roll a 1d10 because we have War Room, and do that part of the event. 8. So let's pull that up real quick. 8. The play is nothing more than a joke, but the silent smiles and unheard laughter warm their hearts. Each survivor gains plus 1 courage or plus 1 understanding, so I get the pick. So Kangara's going to get plus 1 understanding, obviously. Tenchi will get courage. Yomu will get courage. And Yumiko is going to get courage, which is going to trigger See the Truth. Now, See the Truth usually gives you the blinded injury, but it clearly states that if you already are blinded, you don't get it a second time. So that's good stuff. So let's go ahead and pull up that story event. Let me roll 1d10 while I'm at it. So 1d10, 9. All right. All my good rolls being used up. See the Truth is down here. So with this, we get Sour Death, which seems to be our trend. So yeah, Sour Death. All right. So Yumiko, Sour Death. Now this is good because that means I avoided getting an additional blinded injury. Okay, so that's taken care of. And now we can actually go on with this. This is an herb gathering event, so we all get plus 1 survival. There you go. And I'm going to go ahead and do the usual roll, which is going to be 3d10 for everybody. So 23, 39, nothing because there's a duplicate, and 23. So that's 46, 62. So I'll pull up Herb Gathering. I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter. You need to get like 70 or something to even get to the next tier. So yeah, we get plus 1 survival, fresh acanthus, and if we don't have cooking, so that's it. So plus 1 survival, plus 1 survival. We've nearly capped out on survival without even needing the Swordsman Promise, which is why I say it's not that useful. Anyway, we do get a fresh acanthus, so I'm just going to pull it up here. There you go, fresh acanthus. So we can start getting herbs again. And then next we do get another monster hunt event, so let's go ahead and do that. 1d7, 7. Sportsman kill. So once again, we find the finely armored man commanding a retinue of slaves. Let's go ahead and roll 1d10. 3. The man paints your face with a foul-smelling bilious fluid. The event revealer starts the showdown with a priority target token. Okay. That is Yomu, so Yomu has priority target, which is fine. And that is it. Next spot is the monster because he moved closer. So good stuff there. So let's go ahead and get this started. We need to roll 2d21 to see where our starting locations are and terrain and all that good stuff. 15 and 20. 15 is a nightmare tree, and 20 is a topper pillar. So this is what I'm going to do with that topper pillar. It's going to go right there, because I don't care. Nightmare tree, on the other hand, has to be 5 spaces away from all board edges, blah, blah, blah. Nothing that bad. So we need to get this set up 5 spaces away from board edges, which is about right here. And let's go ahead and get people in position, I guess. Yumiko will be right here. Our target is going to be right there. Everyone else will probably be elsewhere. Let's see, 6 spaces away. Is that really? Almost. So I will have to move to get to it. Okay, there's that and that. So yeah, we're doing that. I'm gonna see if I can get some broken lanterns out of it. Not really because we need broken lanterns, but so I can take it out of the deck. So I don't have to worry about drawing them. Okay, that's all situated. Kungar is already maxed out on survival. Yomu is not. Swordsman Promise will trigger. She does have a sword in her gear grid, so she gets maxed out survival. And also, everyone's going to get a strength token because of Red Fist. There you go. Alright, that's all taken care of. Now let's go ahead and make a deck for this. Where's our Gorm? There's our Gorm. Flipping top card because I have the Wisdom Potion. And now we get to do some standard Gorm stuff. As always, I'm hunting level 1s because I don't want to deal with additional injuries. Alright. Shuffling all of that, and let's not forget to grab the actual Gorm itself. There we go. Okay. Monster does go first, so we'll go ahead and draw. Maul Arm Toss. Now, usually this is a random threat in range, but we do have a priority target, so it's going to be Yomu. Full move towards the target, starting with the target. Make a separate attack against each survivor adjacent to the Gorm, which is thankfully only Yomu. So, let's go ahead and make the attacks. And this is going to cause knockback 5 if it hits. So have fun with that. Bring up that nightmare tree so we can use it later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and roll 2d10. Both hits. The hit locations are going to be both the arms, which is actually kind of devastating. I'll just soak it. That's fine. And she's going to suffer knockback 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it goes along the board edge. And that is it. It is now our turn. What's the top card here? It is Clubfoot. Not a big deal. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started with Tenchi first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have her search the tree. Every character can search the tree once. 1. Suffer 1 damage to the arms, but get a Lonely Ant Vermin resource. Okay, so 1 damage to the arms. And let's pull up that Lonely Ant. There's only 1 in the deck, so we can only get this one. Archive this to swap your insanity and survival values. So, just going to be kind of just sitting there because we're not going to ever use it. All right. And next, I'm going to have Kangara go in. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, 1d10. 2. That's just going to be another 1 damage to the arms, I'm pretty sure. Also, I accidentally closed the Nightmare Tree. Yeah, so 1 damage, but we would get a Lonely Ant, but we already have it, and there's not any more in the deck, so 1 damage to the arms. Oh, there should be 1 armor in the head, by the way. Sorry about that. Because of the shield. Alright. Everything else should be fine. Yep. Okay. So that is that. Not fantastic there. I'm going to go ahead and dash with Yomu and get to here and search the tree. Also, priority target's gone, by the way. 1d10. 4. You are knocked down. Alright, so we didn't get shit from this, so... Yomu, do you have... No, you don't. Okay. Well, it's now pretty much just Yumiko, so Yumiko will take her 2 movement and make her attacks. -1 accuracy, +1 accuracy because of mastery, so this hits on 5s. 3d10, 2 hits. So we know about that location. What about the other one? Alright, super dense. Okay. So it's going to be 3 strength plus Yumiko's 3 strength, so 6, 7. Mammoth Hunting makes it 8. Sword Mastery makes it 9. So 1d10 plus 9. She crits on, it's 10 base, 8s because of luck, and then 7s because of Lucky Charm. So this is not a crit, it's a regular wound. I will apply that to the Mammoth Ridge Spine then. So 1 wound to there, and then I'll hit the other location. That's a crit to the Mammoth Rear Clubfoot, which does a persistent injury, where at the start of each monster turn, there's a 20% chance he'll just get knocked down. So we'll put that over here. Put that there. Reveal top card. So we now know about that. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and surge with Yumiko. She keeps her point. 3d10. Perfect hit and a regular hit. So this card and this card. So now it's 1d10 plus 13. That's a wound. I will apply it to the hindgut. So it's going to be a wound to the hindgut, which is going to cause it to retch, which means it's just going to go back 2 spaces and hit nothing because there's nothing in front of it. And then the other location is just a regular wound, unfortunately. Alright, that ends the round. I could dash, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Let's go ahead and go monster turn. Wall up, closest threat in field of view and range, which is, of course, Yumiko. So 2 attacks on Yumiko. 2d10. 1 miss, 1 hit. I have to dodge it because Yumiko is hypersensitive. She loses the point. Alright, and that is it for the turn. I'm going to go ahead and move around here and keep making attacks. Actually, no, yeah, that's pretty much all I can do. Okay. Actually, I don't want to move. I'm going to go ahead and attack from the front. That's fine. So, 3d10. Only 1 hits, which I need to look at the top card first. Okay. Not much of a choice here, so it's just going to be 1d10 plus 8, because I'm not in a flank. And that is just a regular wound. So, that is all that happens. Okay, I'll go ahead and surge. So, well, actually, first I'll move. Then I'll dash. Nah, I don't want to. I'm just going to attack here. I'm going to surge. So, do I keep the point? I do. 3d10, hit on 5s. 2 hits. What's the top card? I keep forgetting to look at the top card because I have the wisdom potion. Okay, so once again, 1d10 plus 8. That's a regular wound. I will apply it to the tail. And then for the other location is a regular wound. These are not really good rolls. We used all of our good rolls for that one event. Which, I mean, it got rid of Insanity, which is good and bad, I guess. Top card is going to be this card. It's a Death Blow. Okay. Good to know. And that is it for the turn. So, monster's turn. Aggravated Bite. Closest threat facing in range. That is, of course, Yumiko. So it's going to make 2 attacks. 2d10. 1 hit, I have to dodge it. And yes, I am aware I'm in tall grass. I do keep the point, so I'm good there. Alright, it's everyone else's turn. By the way, Yomi should have gotten back up, but we're obviously not concerned about them. So, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, sure. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just getting them out of the way and undo that move there. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and attack 3 times with Yumiko. Only 1 hit, so just this top location, which doesn't really matter. 1d10 plus 8. So it would have been a crit, but there's no crit location. So just a regular wound. Also, I forgot to roll for the clubfoot. So I guess I'll roll it right now. Okay, it didn't happen. I sometimes forget about persistent injuries, especially against monsters that are not really a threat. I'm going to go ahead and surge. Don't keep the point, that's fine. Once again, 3d10. 3 hits. What's the top card, by the way? There you go. 2, 3. Okay, 1d10 plus 8. That's a regular wound. I will apply it to the elbow. That's fine. Next, I'll go for the hand. Regular wound. And then for the final location, I'll go for the skull. That is a critical hit to the skull, which will get us an active thyroid strange resource. Which is an organ. Unfortunately, I would happily use it, but actually we can use it. It doesn't actually require an action to use it. That's something I didn't really realize. You just consume it. Okay, well, that is in Yumiko's possession right now. I'm not sure if I'll use it for the speed or not, or the potential speed. Anyway, that's all taken care of, and now we just handle the usual stuff. So plus 1 experience, plus 1 experience, plus 1 experience, plus 1 experience. All right, and then next, let's go ahead and roll our 4d21. This is for mammoth resources as always, because I always do that first. So resources. 5 is a handed skull, so we got another one. That's good. Now I might be willing to make the gourmet helm. All right, and then 10 is a meaty rib. $13 is a stout heart. And 19 is a stout kidney. So at least we got some organs out of it. All right. Then another 4d21 for regular resources. Broken lantern. a love juice. And let's see, 15 and 19. 15 is a monster hide, and 19 is a skull, which means I get +1 insanity on Yumiko. Boop. Alright. Not much in the crits, unfortunately. We didn't really get any fancy resources out of that, but besides the active thyroid at the end. And the lonely ant's kind of just going to be fodder anyway. But we did get a handed skull, which is enough to at least get a helmet, or we can potentially get another black sword. We also got a lot of organs, which will help us potentially make a barber surgeon, and possibly do a few more Gorham Kimmies. So, excuse me. So I guess until then, I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Kingdom Death Monster. See you guys later.